if you're Tucker, like put yourself in his shoes, and you saw where the Soto negotiations went, when other teams want you and you're bidding against, all the teams are bidding against each other. If you are having a good year and you like it here, do you say to them, hey, here's my number. If you hit it, I'll sign, or can you not pass up on having the Yankees and the others all in for you?
It'd be hard. It'd be hard for me not to see what was out there. That being said, because there's always one team that just blows your doors off.
Mark DeRosa joining us, Waddle and Silvy on ESPN 1000. Finish this for me. If the Cubs don't sign Kyle Tucker, ...
They'll be making a huge mistake. In my opinion.
Him or the Cubs?
The Cubs.
Okay.
This guy is a special, slow heartbeat guy. Now, you got to put guys around him. I believe that. I think you got to have that, like, kind of vocal leader around him. I always felt like Derek Lee kind of took the brunt off of Ramos Ramirez. Ramos didn't, he didn't want the spotlight. He just wanted to knock in 100 runs every year. So I don't think Kyle necessarily wants the big spotlight, although I will say this, having him on Team USA a couple years ago, he's sneaky, like really funny. He put the group text together for our offense. He was, quick-witted on there, getting the boys going, like rallying cries for our country. So there's a lot there that he doesn't let be known. But I just feel he is one of the premier players in the game. He's an unbelievable defender. He steals bags. He's got an absolute cannon. He hits for average. He hits for power. He's unfazed by the big moment. He has seen everything in this game. He's played in the biggest stages. There will be nothing that'll happen in Wrigley Field and wearing that uniform that he won't take the same heartbeat to the plate with.
It's great stuff. So if you're Tucker, like put yourself in his shoes, and you saw where the Soto negotiations went, when other teams want you and you're bidding against, all the teams are bidding against each other. If you do fall in love with Wrigley, if you are having a good year and you like it here, do you say to them, hey, here's my number. If you hit it, I'll sign, or can you not pass up on having the Yankees and the others all in for you in an offseason?
Yeah, that's to each his own, right? Like I was never that kind of, Otto can attest to this. I was never that kind of player where I thought on that level. I was a pretty honest evaluator of what I thought I was worth and who was going to be in the market for me. It'd be hard for me not to see what was out there. That being said, because there's always one team that just blows your doors off. That being said, the money he's going to be commanding is going to be so generationally crazy that he's the type of guy I would think that's going to go where he feels comfortable. I don't think ultimately it's going to be the last dollar that puts it over the top. I think if he's comfortable in Wrigley, likes playing there, his family likes living there, I think that'll play a massive part in his decision.
But if the Dodgers give him $550 million, should we just cancel the 2026 season because it's just become unfair?
What are the Cubs giving him?
Oh, not that.
They better get close.
Well, that's why I asked the question mark. Like, this is a team where I think that their revenue, they were third in revenue, they're 13th in payroll. Like, that ratio doesn't make sense to me for a big market team.
Yes, certainly. If the revenue and the payroll don't add up, and if you can fit him into the budget and it makes sense and you can justify it, those fans are deserving of that product.
Yeah,
flat. That place. When the Cubbies are rolling, there's no better place to be in the world.
It's outstanding. Yeah, now they don't have. I mean, it's always going to be pressure based. Don't get me wrong. But the pressure that you guys had in 07 and 08, you've told us many stories through the years of the weird stuff that happened in the postseason and things like that. Like, now that a team has finally broken through, don't you feel like they're competing more against the other teams than with themselves?
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think ultimately it comes down to what, we sit here as players, former players. The only way I would own a team is to try and win world championships and create memories for my fan base. But that was us as little kids competing, trying to get to the big. That's how we thought. I don't think like Tom Ricketts. I didn't grow up that way, so he might attack it. I only know how can we put the best product out on the field for an extended period of time, build a strong farm system, subsidize our big league club with guys from down in Iowa and AA, and give these fans a chance to go to a World Series every year.
We're talking to Team USA manager Mark DeRosa's, star on MLB Network, former Cub, and the former Waddle and Silvy Weekly.
Amen.
On ESPN 1000. So when you look at the Cubs yesterday on Baseball Reference, there was a stat, like with the analytics, that they're the favorite based on the analytics to win the World Series at like 17%. And the Dodgers are like 3%. I as a Cubs fan, D-Row, I like this team. I'm not sure if I love this team. Do you look at them and say this is a true World Series contender? That was some sound right there.
God, we're 13 games into the season. Do I think they have a puncher's chance as currently constructed? Yes. Do I have them winning the Central? Yes. Can anything happen in the postseason? Yeah, but they're going to need another arm.
Yeah.
You can't replace what Justin Steele unless you go out and bring me like a big dog. I can't go into the postseason without Imanaga and whoever that may be, Tyone, down the line. I mean, you took a massive weapon away from me. Steele he didn't miss his bats consistently and loves the moment and loves being in there. So, yeah, I think they got to address. I know Jed was big on addressing the bullpen and trying to, trying to fix that before the season started. I think that'll always be a work in progress. That seems to be the deadline recipe that everyone goes after. But no, I would think they need another starter.
Mark, I was joking earlier about the Dodgers and canceling the 2026 season, but in all reality, I think wasn't it Tanner Scott that the Cubs were in on?
Yeah, uh-huh.
And basically the Cubs eventually, and they gave him a solid offer, but I don't think that the Dodgers were ever going to stop at any point. I guess the question I'm asking is the sport in bad shape because of the economics? And when you have teams like the Dodgers and maybe the Yankees or even the Mets are able to do things that the smaller market teams aren't?
I think the sport is thriving right now. I think with regards to your question, that'll be something that'll be brought up at the next CBA in the next 2 years with the players. But I look at it from a standpoint of I'd like to see the owner spend a little bit more.
Sure, yeah.
I look at a team like Pittsburgh, not to single them out, but that fan base is dying to pack PNC. They have a juggernaut pitching staff, and they can't score any runs. And they're not going to score any runs. Not because these guys aren't big leaguers. They're just, there's differences in lineups and talent and everything that goes into it. So, yeah, Dodgers have found a nice loophole with the deferred payments. But then I always take it back to if you want to win a World Series, if your ultimate goal as a free agent is to win a World Series, and you've made big money already in the game, and you've gotten to this point where you can make your decision and the Dodgers call and they give you the best. I mean, everyone's signing there.
Yeah.
So I just think I don't want to say they're the flavor because they're going to hang in there for a long time, but I'd like to see other owners operate a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't get mad at the Dodgers. I get mad at the others. Yeah, keep up with them. Yeah. So what do you see? And you're so good with hitting breakdowns and looking at young players. What do you see with PCA?
I love them. Okay. So you know how you first lay eyeballs on them and you're like, oh, okay, here we go. I try and put myself in that veteran role back in the dugout if PCA walked in. How would we react to it? Right? And then I meet him in spring training this year at Sloan Park. He was the one guy I kind of wanted to lock in on, and I couldn't get enough of him.
Yeah.
He's a grinder. He wants it. He's talented. He's got tools. He's twitchy. He's a better hitter than I thought. He's got more pop than I thought. I think he turns out, like, next to Kyle Tucker, he turns out to be, like, arguably your most talented player on this roster.
Oh, you gave me the tingles.
As a manager, do you put him at the top of the order, or is it too soon to do that?
He certainly could handle it. I think sooner rather than later. The offense is rolling. You don't mess with what they're doing right now. They're scoring a ton of runs. They're leading the league in everything. We had this conversation today. Are they the best offense in baseball? I mean, according to the numbers, they are. I'd take a few different lineups over them. Mm-hmm. But I think as this progressive, PCA is going to be a massive reason as to why this team succeeds or stumbles at the end.
Is Dansby Swanson underachieving in your when you look at him and you know the pressure of signing with the Cubs?
I know Dansby well.
Yeah, and so I knew you knew him well. Did you expect better with the Cubs from Dansby Swanson for that money?
I love the defense. You can't deny it. He's the best defender at shortstop in the entire game. The numbers support it. I love the pop. I love the leadership. I think he should hit for more average than he does. I've never gotten deep in the weeds with him. I've seen him hit a couple times in the off season. My 15-year-old son hits in the same spot that he hits. So I run into him from time to time and watch him work. They work a little bit different than the way we did. You know, the velocity and stuff is definitely hotter, and they're trying to get that A-hack off. I would like to see more of an attempt at a two-strike approach and hit for a higher average. I think he's certainly capable of that.
Mark, more of a general question, again, from the managerial perspective. We always have this conversation about how important are managers, what are they worth? As somebody who's done that now, been on the top step in different arenas, and as you compare that to how you felt about the importance of a manager as a player and compare it with how you feel about the importance of a manager as a manager, where are you at on that? How important is the manager?
I think it's super important. I think guys want to be coached. I think guys want to be led. I think they want to look down the end of the dugout and know that guy standing on the top step is got it. He's got it on lock. Let me just go out and be an athlete and play the game, get my 4 ABs, catch my 4 ground balls, put my little biscuits in the basket, and I know that he's going to kind of create a culture and create an energy and be positive and kick me in the tush when I need to be and pat me on the back when I need to be. As far as wins and losses, unquantifiable to me. I think, a great man. I don't know. I wouldn't even venture to guess how much, whether it's 3 or 5 wins. I ultimately think the players will decide your fate. It's a matter of, I know this. When I played for a guy like Bruce Bochy and I was in the field or on the bench, when he went to the bullpen, I didn't even have to look. I knew who was coming in. And I don't think you can fool the guys on the roster. They know who should be playing for the most part. They know what the lineup should kind of look like. They know who their high leverage relievers are and who aren't. They know who to trust to give that extra out to and who not to. And I think if you're lockstep with your manager, it just creates an awesome environment.